Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports here myself, Charlie. I'm on for video stats. Please like, please comment and please subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. Right, Matchroom have just dropped their start of 2026 schedule in terms of boxing. It features 4 fight nights, 2 headlined by, I think 3 actually in fact, headlined by world title fights. And then one that I might talk about in a little bit more depth in a bit. So we have got Raymond Muratalla versus Andy Cruz. We've got Bahram Murtazaliev versus Josh Kelly, who's just re-signed with Matchroom. We've got Eduardo Sugar Boy Nunes versus Emmanuel Navarrete. And then there's also Lee Wood and Josh Warrington too. So I think for starters, it's a strong start from Matchroom. It's good to see. I think a lot of people have been circling, the vultures have been circling, so to speak, in boxing circles, certainly on social media. Social media would have you believe that Matchroom are in the mud, to use a Twitter terminology. But listen, they're really solid cards, I think. I think Andy Cruz Muratalla is a really entertaining fight. I think Cruz is obviously an amateur standout. We know what he is. He's one of the best prospects, I think, in boxing. If you can even call him a prospect anymore, I guess you can. Muratalla's a very solid fighter. I would hedge my bets on Cruz early on, but I mean, that lightweight division, again, I think he could end up cleaning up Cruz, to be honest with you. I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens there. Obviously, Keyshawn's about. They fought in the amateurs, but we don't really know what's going on with him. You got Shakur. That's maybe the fight that down the line could be made, and I'd love to see Shakur versus Cruz, but then Shakur's talking about Teofimo Lopez, so you never know what's going to go on. But Cruz is a great contender, and Muratalla shouldn't be underestimated. He might just be able to do the business and grind out a victory. Rete Nunes, that gets me excited. You think all the great Mexican clash in around that weight. Now, the obvious ones you go to are Barrera, Morales, Marquez, but even the other guys, Salido, there's so many others that for some reason, aren't jumping out at me, but the history's there in those divisions in terms of the way those guys come to fight. It's an all Mexican clash. Thinking of Bechel versus Valdez a few years ago, that was another one, a cracker. Oscar Valdez there, yeah, it's a great division. It's a great, when two Mexicans get together and you know what they're going to bring war. They always do. Sugar Boy is like a little mini, I don't want to say Mike Tyson because it's such an overused cliche, but he's big, he's strong, he's compact. Navarrete's not going to take a backward step either. He's powerful in his own right. I wouldn't want to call that one. I think it'll be a fight of the year contender. Murtazaliev, Kelly, it's an intriguing one. Josh Kelly, I like. Quietly sort of rebuilt himself over on Channel 5 with Sauerlands and Vosserman. Murtazaliev, though, I think is an outstanding talent. I think Murtazaliev is definitely the one to watch in that 154 division. I did a video on it the other day. I'll put the link in the description on how stacked that division is. I think he's the one to watch because I think he's the one who Boots and Ortiz are probably looking at and going, we don't need him. We don't want him anywhere near us. I like Josh Kelly. I'd love to see him win the world title, especially in front of his, I know he's Sunderland, but in front of the Northeast crowd, but I can't see it myself. I think Murtala is going to make a statement. Potentially, it reminded me a little bit when like Kovalev came over here and fought cleverly, and afterwards everyone was like, oh, this guy's serious. I think Murtazaliev is going to do the same thing to Josh Kelly. And lastly, Josh Warrington, Lee Wood. Oh, where to go with that one? Listen, if this is the end of life for these guys, a little bit like Chisora White, I can't begrudge them. They've given a lot to the game. Lee Wood, fellow Forest fan, completely like the bloke. Listen, that night he beat Michael Conlan, probably one of my favourite fights in the history of me watching boxing. Everything about it, just brilliant. He's given a lot to sport. Josh Warrington's given a lot to sport as well. Regardless of what you think of him in the ring, he's given a lot. He's given us some good nights as British fight fans. They're both to bring a passionate home crowd. I hope this is it from both. I hope they say after that, right, I'm done. I'd edge towards Wood to repeat it, but he didn't look great against Kakache. Neither did Warrington look great against Kakache. I think Her's going to have to stat the undercard out for that one. It's some people say, no, it's laughable. I don't think it's laughable, but I do question if it's a UK headliner. I don't know. Probably way past its sell-by date. But it's a strong start from Matchroom, and 2 UK shows featuring, in my opinion, one of the biggest talents in world boxing in Murtazaliev. You can't be sniffed at, and I'm glad to see it because a lot of people have been saying, oh, Matchroom in the UK, they're done for. Well, on this evidence, they're not. Anyways, guys, as always, please like, please comment, please subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. Thank you.